And I'm sitting there like, this is absolutely insane.
If you haven't watched part 1, watch that and come back.
And I'm sitting there like, this is absolutely insane. What? So basically, I wait there for a while. I collect up her things, and I'm just sitting around waiting for somebody to say where she's going to be in the hospital. I think she texted me to tell me, like, this is where I am. I'm in this hospital. I get all of my stuff. I get on the tram to go to the hospital and bring her things. I get to the hospital, and they're like doing all of these big, like, do you have coronavirus symptoms and blah, and I'm like, no, I have no symptoms. My friend is here. She broke her ankle. I needed to bring, we think she broke her ankle. I needed to bring some things for her so that, you know, her insurance card, all this other stuff. Okay, you just sit in the lobby. I sat in the lobby for like an hour, and I'm texting her and checking on her like, are you okay? What's up? What's going on? I was bored out of my mind. I was looking at memes on my phone and sending them to her, and she was like, I have such poor morale, I need memes. So we're like, I'm sending her memes, and she's like, okay, this one was funny, thank you for that. And yeah, it went on for a long time, and eventually they finally called me to the back, and they were like, yeah, you can come see your girlfriend now. And I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, no, come back, you can come see your girlfriend now. And I'm like, girlfriend? Wait, no, we're just friends. We live together, but we're just friends. So we're walking to the back, and they're like, yeah, how are you and your girlfriend here? What are you guys here for? And I'm like, well, she's just my friend, but we study a study program here in Germany. It's a 4-year study program. And the lady's like, that's nice, and she doesn't have family here. No, she doesn't have family here at all. We're both from the United States. Okay, well, your girlfriend's gonna be back here in this other room. We have her in the hallway because, you know, they don't explain anything to you, but we have her in a hallway. You can sit with her for a while. Don't worry, your girlfriend's doing just fine. So if anybody, probably not anybody, but if anybody from Germany has listened to the story so far, you probably know what's going on, but in German, the word for friend and the word for boyfriend and girlfriend, as far as I know, at least colloquially, are the same. So there are feminine and masculine versions of words, and the word for friend, if I say friend, the masculine version, and I'm talking about a friend of mine who's a boy, anyone listening to me could assume that it is a friend of mine that is a boy, or my boyfriend. There's no distinction in the word. And then if I say friend, as in a girl that is my friend, that's the same word as girlfriend. So anyone listening to me say, hey, this is my friend and we live together, in German, it sounds like this is my girlfriend and we live together. And I've asked around since I've lived in Germany, is there a way I can make a distinction? And everyone I've talked to says no. So I get the misunderstanding of like, we live together and she's my friend. And they're like, yeah, it's your girlfriend. But I don't know how many times I was like, we're not dating, we're just friends. And they were like, okay, your girlfriend's doing just fine. So basically we just kind of gave up. I got to the back and I saw her for the first time, and she's like, so this is going awfully. And basically we sit in the back and we just laugh and talk for ages about them saying that we were dating and we weren't dating, and about other people that were in the hospital, like old people that were doing weird stuff, and we were like, oh, what are they doing? And she has asthma, so when she laughs too hard, sometimes she'll start coughing, and I'm like, oh girl, you need to stop that, because COVID, they might try to put you out of here. What am I gonna do when they try to put my girlfriend out the hospital? So we just had a really good laugh in the back, and eventually they said, well, we brought her to this hospital, but we're not that good at fixing broken bones here. So we need to transfer her to a hospital that's better at fixing broken bones so that, you know, her ankle will heal correctly. Great, they should have did that earlier, but okay, fine. So basically we wait in the back for a really long time for a different ambulance to show up. the different ambulance shows up, and the guys that like are working, the paramedics that get out the ambulance, they're like rolling her stretcher into the ambulance, and I'm like, well, I live with her, and I'm her only like kind of relative, or not relatives, but I'm the closest thing she's got. Can I ride with her to the other hospital? And they were saying, we don't think you're gonna be able to get into the hospital because you're not related, and because of COVID, there's issues with that. But you can ride in the ambulance with her, and we'll ask when we get there. If they say no, you just have to go home. So I was like, okay. So that was the first time in my life, at least I know, I've ridden in an ambulance, which was pretty cool. I can only say that because I was not the one that was broken up. I was not the one that was broken up that was in the ambulance. And again, we were just sitting in the back of the ambulance laughing and talking and joking and taking pictures. I can like insert a few pictures that we took in the ambulance. But we ride the ambulance all the way to the second hospital. We get to the second hospital and they're like, yeah, no, you can't come in, but we'll take her, and if you need to bring her things, there's a system set up where you can come to the front of the hospital, drop off things, and they'll run it to the patients in the back. So I'm like, okay, cool. So that happened. That was the first, well, really, the second day of her skating. I went home. I collected up some of her things to get ready to take it back to her, and I think I took her some things maybe 1 or 2 days later after that. I'm not entirely sure. So basically, I would run things back and forth to the hospital for her. Basically, what ended up happening was she broke her ankle, I believe, in 3 different places. She broke her ankle in 3 different places. So when they got her to the second hospital, they wanted to go ahead and perform an operation to fix her ankle. However, it had been so long since she broke her ankle, like 4 or more hours or something like that, that the swelling on her ankle had gotten so bad that they couldn't perform the surgery. At least they couldn't perform it accurately. So they ended up having to do an additional operation when she first got to the second hospital, because they needed to stabilize the ankle, and then they were going to keep her for a couple days so that the swelling could go down, and then after they keep her for a few days, and they were going to do the surgery that she needed on the ankle, and then keep her a few days and then release her. But I think she ended up staying in 4 or 5 days after, because they ended up putting like these metal spikes in her ankle. I can also maybe share pictures if she's fine with it. This is like trigger warning. If you don't want to see it, just close your eyes. I'm going to put it in now. Okay, it's gone. You can open your eyes if you didn't want to see it. And she had these like metal spikes sticking out of her leg for a while, and she was in the hospital for I think 4 or 5 days until they actually did the actual operation. And then they did the actual operation. They took the metal spikes out. They operated on her ankle. I think they put 1 or 2 plates in and screws and lots of things. And then she stayed for, I think, 4 or 5 more days. I think she was in the hospital for like 11 days. And basically they said, once they released her from the hospital, they actually put her straight in a boot, which I thought was interesting because I've never seen that happen before. But they put her straight in a boot, and when she went home, they told her, you need to stay off the ankle for 2 weeks. Basically, she was on bed rest. She couldn't even get out of bed for about 2 weeks. And then the next 2 weeks, she was allowed to put a little bit of weight on the ankle. Or it was like she could move around, but she still couldn't put weight on the ankle. I don't really remember, but she really wasn't allowed to do anything with the ankle, but she could get up and go places if she needed to, as in like the kitchen or the bathroom. I mean, she went to the bathroom anyways, but like I was fixing her food. I was doing everything for her. I was helping her so she could make it to the bathroom and then make it back from the bathroom. And the next set of that 2 weeks, she could do a little more by herself, but really it was still mostly her in bed. And then the 2 weeks after that, she ended up being able to put more weight on the ankle and start. So really after the first 4 weeks, she really was able to start trying to be normal with her ankle again. And it took her a while before she really got out of the house and went for a walk or did anything else. But I think thinking about when it happened, because it happened the first few days in April, and then thinking about how, like, what happened after that, her ankle was really healed really fast. And I don't know if that had to do with them putting it straight in a boot or if she just heals really fast, but I know that she had a few courses where they had to go on hikes in the course, and it was rocky and everything, and she went on the hike in June or something like that, and she had already broken her ankle in April, and she said it was fine. So I'm really proud of her, and a lot of times I forget she's broken her ankle because she just kind of does whatever now, and it's not really a problem unless she does something for too long, and then we're like, oh man, I forget you broke your ankle, is it fine? And she's like, yeah, I know it's fine, I'll just elevate it when I get home. But yeah, super proud of her because she's doing like a really great job with the ankle, and she went to physical therapy for it and everything. But she said she's never gonna skate again. I 100% understand. If it was me and I would have broken my ankle, when it healed, I would have kept skating. But that's because I had been skating for a really long time already, and it's like my absolute passion to skate. And it was like her second day learning to skate. And I get it. If you don't, that's not your thing, and you break your ankle that badly, no, I wouldn't want to keep doing it. So but the funny thing is, she actually grew up riding horses, and she said she's actually been stepped on a horse before when she was a kid, and she has never broken a bone until last year. So yeah, it's an interesting story, but it's really cool though, because she's really supportive of me, and she'll go to the skate park with me all the time and just watch me or record me and things like that. So she's really sweet and super supportive. I love her. Shout out to her. I never mentioned her name. Her name's Maddie. She recorded the video of me on the grinding rail. But yeah, that's what happened. I tried to teach my friend Maddie to skate, and she broke her ankle severely. So it's actually kind of a funny story, because I was actually talking to another woman that I met at the skate park that also roller skates, and she has a really similar story, that she had a friend, she tried to teach them to skate, and then they fell a really weird way and they broke their arm. And they're like, I'm never doing this again. And I thought it was just me, but maybe it's a consistent problem that people just break things sometimes. That's the story. It's been kind of wild and interesting, but the good thing is she's fine. Maddie's completely okay, and her ankle is a lot better now. And thank you for listening. Thank you for watching my video. Please leave a like or a comment if you liked the video. If you didn't like the video, please tell me why. And again, if you have suggestions for content that you'd like to see on my channel, or if you would prefer me not to talk about some of the things about my personal life and living in Germany, also let me know in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching. I will catch you later. Bye!